Hello everybody, and welcome to the final 3 rounds of the Ligier Championship. We're finally back! Yes! I imagine that a couple of you probably not even know what the hell this stream even is, because the last stream I think was in the middle of March. So yeah, it's been 5 or 6 weeks since the last episode of this. But yeah, basically, little boxcar. I should do it over here. Little boxcar. Go. Meow. There's a reason why I'm off center, because I'm going to show you the championship standings. Wow! Would you look at that? I actually planned this. That's crazy. That's crazy. We got Giedel van der Garde. He's leading the championship with 3 rounds to go. You get 15 points for a win, 12 for second, and I think 9 for third. It goes down to the top 12 or something like that. So yeah, we got. If many of you can't remember, which is very fair because it's been a very long time, there's quite a number of custom drivers in this. For example, Tina Curtis, Kiyokiri46, currently in chat. He's in 7th place in the championship. 21 points off of Giedel van der Garde, Svetoslav Kostov, Lucas Moritz, Gunnar Hansen and Daniel Ferguson complete the top 5. Here is the rest of the 20. Carlos Barton up here, down to Peter Elkman, who is an actual driver, who has scored just 1 point all season. But everyone has indeed scored this year. And this is the Constructors' Championship standings. Yeah, this is like a rookie series. Yeah, this is what you do before you go to like Formula 3 or Formula Renault or whatever stuff like that. This is basically like you come out of karting and you're in these absolute beasts, like 25 horsepower, 150 kilogram cars. You'll see them in a second if you have not seen this before. But yeah, Harrison Motorsport lead by 10 over MyLink Motorsport. There's a close battle as well between Streamline, Scuderia Azzurro, Team Mastercard, Maxi Toys Racing and Pacific. Those guys are only 9 points apart with just 3 rounds to go. If you're wondering what the tracks are, I can't show what tracks they are until we get to them. But we have got the Owner Speedway in the United States, which is an oval. We've got 40 laps of that. We've got 11 laps at Svartkops in South Africa. And we've got 13 laps of the Knock Hill circuit, of course. Where else would it be for the final round of the season? Without further ado then, this is taking forever. Why is it started? Yep, there we go. Great job. Took it long enough, but we are here for 6 minutes of this qualifying session. This is going to be a chaotic qualifying session, by the way, because there is very little time to realize what is actually happening. But Peter Elkman is the first one out on circuit right now. Jake Wilson, also known as Racing at Home, is here. Iusus Naturai, also known as Mr. Fister, as well. Tina Curtis, obviously Kiyokiri46. I actually didn't say hello to the chat, but welcome in everybody, including Keo, Horizon, FF, Teague, Jeffrey, FF, and Casey, as well as everyone else who is currently watching with us. So yeah, how this normally works is we get a 6-minute qualifying session into a 25-kilometer race, which usually lasts around 20 to 25 minutes or so. So we've got Peter Elkman here on his first lap in the session. He's looking to potentially get himself maybe into the 29s, although he's cut a little bit of grass there on the inside of the corner, and he's decided to pit, which is interesting. Jake Wilson, though, will complete his lap and be the first one to set a competitive lap time across the line for him. And he'll set a 30.2, which is 3 tenths faster than the car just behind. The Team Mastercard driver then of Tina Curtis is up next in this qualifying session to set a lap time. And the Irish woman will go across the line and go 3rd position. Nathan Hazelwood and Gunnar Hansen seem to be slipstream sharing a little bit, and Nathan Hazelwood has benefited from that. He goes onto the front row of the grid. Ligier van der Garde, I think, has just been involved in an incident with his teammate Casey Kirk there. The two Mylinks have come together, and as such, Casey's going to pit. Van der Garde is going to carry on though, but only set the 7th fastest time, which is not good from him. Jago Pester further behind is going to be able to set a 31.3. Moreno Soprapto, you'll also know. One race per round. It's just one race. One race, that's it. Moreno Soprapto, which you'll know as the Boutsen. He's a test driver for Boutsen Energy Racing in Formula 1. As Franz Bernbach to pole position with a 30.0. It's actually collided there, I think, with Casey Kirk. Yes, it is. So Casey Kirk's got a bit of a problem there. As Daniel Ferguson also in that title hunt, although as that's Van der Garde off again. He's made 2 mistakes in this session already, and it's not looking good for him as Moreno Soprapto goes into the top 10 ahead of him. The German of Lucas Moritz is also looking to potentially keep his championship chances alive as he goes 8th place ahead of Ligier van der Garde. The other main one, Svetislav Kostov, down in 15th place right now. Paul de Resta in 14th position. What about Carlos Barton? Not a great first sector, and as such he'll only set the 14th fastest time. As we'll ride on board with Nathan Hazelwood on this lap in the Pacific Racing car. Do not want to be hitting that curve on the inside realistically, and he is purple through the first sector as Casey Kirk onto the front row of the grid. We'll see if Nathan Hazelwood can potentially match him in terms of lap time. He's 2 tenths down on Franz Bernbach through the second sector, and this is probably not going to be pole position. Is it going to be an improvement? No, it's not actually, as he stays in 5th position. Not good then from the Pacific driver, who currently is just a 10th ahead of his teammate and 1 position. Peter Elkman now up into 8th position as he's made contact there with Franz Bernbach, who's rejoined out onto the circuit. We might see that a couple of times in this session. Jake Wilson is up in the top 3 right now. He would love this qualifying session as of right now, as he's not been doing all too well this season. Moreno Soprapto looking to set a lap time potentially good enough to put him at least into the top 10. And he'll go across the line. It is good enough for 6th position. The Indonesian driver just half a second away from his teammate now with that lap, as Franz Bernbach begins what could be potentially his final lap or set of laps in the qualifying session. Just a minute and a half to go to settle who will be on pole position here today. He's half a tenth down through the first sector. How well do these things side draft? Very well. They side draft very well, actually. Although around this circuit you probably won't see much side-by-side action per se in terms of slipstream battles. He does set a purple final sector, but it's no improvement there for the German, as across the line for Jake Wilson. It's pole position with an exact same time. He must have set a faster time by less than a millisecond, but he is on pole position. Yeah, but you can turn the slipstream range up in the AI for the AI, so yeah, it's quite a bit more than that. Ligier van der Garde then made a mistake in the final sector, purple through each of the first 2 sectors, but the Dutchman is only capable of going into 8th position. Jake Wilson across the line, failure to improve for him. What about Van der Garde? He's down in the first sector, as that's Svetislav Kostov, championship contender, up in 4th position after that run in the qualifying session with a 30.2. Van der Garde across the line, no improvement for him. Harry Bunara is also improving on his lap. He has only scored 2 points this season and would love to get into the top half in the standings. He's actually potentially going to be pushing for pole position here. Out the final corner for the Briton and across the line for the Branson Virgin Racing car. And he's only 7th position. He lost a bit of time in that last sector, which is a shame for him. Tina Curtis also on a big improvement here, as she is about 4 tenths down, but could potentially be going into the pits. Is going into the pits. Lucas Moritz, though, up towards the line. The German, can he snatch pole at the death? It's only 12th, he's half a second down, and that means that it is Jake Wilson on pole position. by nothing. 0 milliseconds. He's just bagged pole position by, ahead of Franz Bernbach. Casey Kirk in third, with Svetoslav Kostov in fourth position. Justus Naturai, the Ugandan driver, is in fifth, followed by Gunnar Hansen, Harry Bonara, Nathan Hazelwood, Jordi Gambin, and Morena Soprato completing the top half of the grid. The background music is on. Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Lol. Yes. Here we go. I need to write down the results, so that's why this is here. Because I need to write down the results for each qualifying session. Reason being, so we're doing so many races today that I just need to write them down. Franz Bernbach, Casey Kirk, Svetoslav Kostov. Actually, I don't need to do it for qualifying, do I? I'll just get a screenshot and do it after the stream. But I will have to write the results in. I'll do that. So, without further ado then, we've got 40 laps ahead of the drivers. And the lights are green. There's racing to be seen, and it's a poor start for Jake Wilson off the start. Franz Bernbach might get the run out of the first corner, so looking round the outside is going to be the German as they go side by side, the Branton Virgin racing car and the Streamline Engineering of Franz Bernbach will not hold on to the race lead through the second corner, but by the time they reach turn 3, it's going to be Jake Wilson ahead of Franz Bernbach. Further back, we've got Paul de Resta battling with Chen Kongfu. Harry Bonara and Nathan Hazelwood there battling over 7th position. But at the front, Casey Kirk has just been overtaken there by Svetoslav Kostov. Drivers still in championship contention. Second place in the standings as there's Franz Bernbach making a contact there with Jake Wilson. He gets away with it, and Kostov sneaks through up into second place. So Jake Wilson's probably not going to be all too pleased with that one, as he's shuffled down to third position and potentially under pressure here from the Mylink Motorsport car of Casey Kirk. Championship leader Hiedo van der Garde, meanwhile, is down in 12th position as it currently stands. Plenty of places being gained as Lucas Moritz is up the order. Tina Curtis has spun round. Meanwhile, she's in the infield as Gunnar Hansen sets the fastest lap of the race, and I think that's going to be over for the Irishwoman. We'll get a replay of that one, who is looking like, unfortunately, going to be out of this race. Side by side with the Maxi Toys Racing, I think of Jago Pesta potentially, and collected by the other one, and unfortunately will be the first retirement of this race. Quite a shame, but at the front, Franz Bernbach holding his lead just about ahead of Svetoslav Kostov. Casey Kirk is in third position, followed by Jake Wilson, Gunnar Hansen, Justus Naturai. Swap that. Jake Wilson back up the inside of Casey Kirk as the Northern Irishman is shuffled down out of the podium places. Jake Wilson looking for a bit of payback against Franz Bernbach as he's also looking towards the inside of Svetoslav Kostov. Is this going to be two positions gained in 2 corners, sorry? It might be, but Svetoslav Kostov, the Bulgarian, looking to hold it straight round the outside. Kostov still holding the outside line. Jake Wilson on the inside, and he's going to brake later, and he's going to make contact. That's way too aggressive driving there, and he might just about tip the car over. He's trying to keep it in one piece. He has somehow, only losing a couple of places there. Jake Wilson down to 5th position as Franz Bernbach is into the pits. Maybe a bit of damage to his Streamline car from that contact earlier as Casey Kirk sneaks up the inside of Svetoslav Kostov and takes the lead here at the Oda Speedway. But Kostov looking still round the outside. Casey Kirk might be able to pull off a move that Jake Wilson did, but possibly more successfully as he holds it on the inside. Side by side between these two as they complete lap 5. Kostov still leads at this current stage, but Franz Bernbach, after his pit stop, shuffled down to 17th position from that. Casey Kirk then holding the lead ahead of Kostov, Naturai, Wilson, Hansen, Bonara, Moritz, van der Garde. The championship leader is now up into 8th position, followed by Hazelwood, Gambin, Soprato and Barton completing the points. Paul de Resta setting the fastest lap of the race in 13th position as Casey Kirk looks potentially under pressure pressure here. Jake Wilson spending no time behind Justus Naturai, straight through and up into third position, potentially even second, potentially even the race lead. He nearly flipped it just a lap ago, and Kostov's cut across him. They're both into the grass, and Kostov somehow kept that position ahead of Jake Wilson. Very aggressive stuff here from the Bulgarian, who does not want to be shuffled down the order like he was earlier on by Jake Wilson, as Nathan Hazelwood there making a move up the inside of the MyLink Motorsport car of Hiedo van der Harde, and he will take 8th position in this race. Further up though, Harry Bonara going straight round the outside of Lucas Moritz as Van der Harde takes that position back away from Nathan Hazelwood. Kostov, though, back up the inside. Contact between the Northern Irishman and the Bulgarian is going to invite Jake Wilson into this battle, but Kostov seems to have the position, or does he? Because Casey Kirk has the run around the outside of the corner through turn 3, and Kostov has got that inside line, but will he be able to hold on to it? He's not got as great momentum as the MyLink Motorsport driver, as they go basically side by side in a dead heat across the start-finish line to begin lap 9. We're not even a quarter of the way through this race yet, and it's been action wherever you look. Kostov onto 2 wheels, taking the lead of this race, but he's still unable to shake Casey Kirk at this current stage. Jake Wilson also looking to try and have a move here on Casey Kirk for 2nd position in this race. Although Kirk himself is going to look back up the inside, so it's going to be Kirk on the inside of Kostov this time round, as the two still commence battle here, beginning lap 10 of this race. My nose is itching. Burnback's into the pits again, so that's the 2nd stop he's already made in this race, and potentially he could have a problem with his car, which would be quite a shame. Jakob Ester also with his 2nd stop of the race. Kostov up the inside there, back up into the race lead. These two really battling with each other, and it's quite astounding that no one's been able to catch them. In fact, Jake Wilson is going to make his way into the box already on lap 10. Dear me, why is my nose itching? Okay. The hay fever's really getting to me. But here we have now a 3-second gap that's emerged between 2nd and 3rd position in this race. Gunnar Hansen has now taken that final podium place. No, that's not Charlie Kirk. That's Casey Kirk, also known as Parked on the Apex Galactic Stag. Don't worry. Welcome in, by the way. Kostov making contact there with Casey Kirk and nearly paying the price of spinning around and nearly losing possibly even 2nd place in this race, as there is contact. That's Hansen. Hansen's round. Hansen's had a big incident there. There's several drivers stopped. Van der Harde, Bernbach, Kung Fu, Hansen, all off. But it's going to be the Faroe Islands driver who is going to be out of this race, crucial in the Constructors' Championship there, as he made contact with a Justus Naturai and retires the 2nd of which of this race. Let's get a replay of that then. So it started down at turn 3 when Naturai made his way up the inside, the Ugandan driver, side by side with Gunnar Hansen here. So it was Pacific versus Harrison Motorsports. Naturai sending an audacious move up the inside onto 2 wheels, tagging round Hansen. And that is going to be Hansen potentially out of the championship hunt as he rolls off into the grass and retires. Becomes the 2nd retirement of this race. As that's Kostov! Dear me, Svetoslav Kostov, very close to flipping his car as well, just as Gunnar Hansen nearly did. And Harry Bonara is actually up into the podium places here, potentially, if he can get past a Justus Naturai. But the Pacific driver is not going to let this one lying down, is, however, going to leave the door wide open for some reason for Harry Bonara to take full advantage and move up into what will now be 2nd place as Casey Kirk's into the stop. We were expecting only 1 stops from each of the drivers around this circuit, but it seems that fuel and tyres certainly will not last around here, and as such, for some reason, Gunnar Hansen's not been pulled away from the track yet. We don't really do penalties in this, we can't just let it roll. As that's nearly 3 wide. Van der Garde battling dangerously with Moritz and therefore with Bonara to try and get that 3rd place in this race. The Dutch driver very nearly costing himself the championship lead here, but he's still going for the move, looking up the inside of Bonara, unable to find his way through as the two remain side by side. Kostov then at the front of the field leads by 8 seconds as the remainder of his rivals have already pitted in this race. Van der Garde past 1, past 2 as Bonara shuffled down 2 as Moritz now takes his place, or does he? Looking back towards the outside is the Branson Virgin Racing car of Harry Bonara, and he keeps that 4th place in this race. Hazelwood boxers in the Pacific. Hello Leo, welcome in. This is the Ligier Championship. We're here at round 8 at the Owner Speedway, where our championship leader, Hiedo van der Garde, is currently in 2nd position. He's clawed his way up from, I think, 14th on the grid. He's managed to perfectly play this, as now Natcharai is looking back up the inside in the Pacific Racing. Unable to find his way through, though. As it currently stands, it would be Van der Garde, I believe, keeping hold of his championship lead, but only just ahead of Svetoslav Kostov, currently sitting in 2nd place in the championship. But we have seen quite a number of drivers not yet serving their stops, as Ferguson, Bonara and Gambin are all into the stops. And the Spaniard then making his way out the pits, and he will rejoin towards the back of the field. As we cut back to the front, though, Van der Garde is battling quite dangerously with Natcharai, but it seems to be paying off for him, as the Dutchman is going to be able to hold on to that. Oh, Willie! That's contact there between the Ugandan and the Dutchman, as they're still side by side. This is allowing Kostov, though, to run off into the distance. That's also going to allow Moritz to get involved in this battle for potentially 2nd place in this race. Natcharai, though, holding Van der Garde off as it currently stands, and will potentially, I think this could be his 1st podium of the season, unless Van der Garde has other ideas. He barges Natcharai out the way, the Ugandan driver losing traction at the rear of the car, but just about holding it in a straight line. He's going to keep his 3rd place for now. Just further back, that's Conor Rusikas. He's gotten past Chen Kong Fu for 7th place in this race. The Team MasterCard team will be having all of their hopes resting on the Estonian's shoulders, as his teammate Tina Curtis is only one of 2 drivers to retire from this race, as Lucas Moritz is into the box for Scuderia Azzurro. But at the front, Kostov leads, Van der Garde 2nd, Natcharai 3rd, Soprapto is in 4th for Streamline, followed by DeResta, Kung Fu, Rusikas, Wilson, Casey Kirk, Peter Elkman, Lucas Moritz just rejoining behind Harry Bonara and remaining in the points only just ahead of Nathan Hazelwood. Nah, it's not all too serious, Leo. Although this is, if you sign up as drivers in the Discord at the start of the 2005 season, then you can also be involved in these, as I think 15 of the 20 drivers here are custom drivers. Yeah, we're saying you're well strapped in, so you don't do much. And also the suspension is all over the place. So, hello Massa, by the way, welcome in. Natcharai then boxes from 2nd position in this race. DeResta also into the box, as will Conor Rusikas. Svetoslav Kostov then is going to potentially be boxing. No, he's just got an awkward line there as he laps, I think. That is... Oh, Nathan Hazelwood's in the barriers. Down at turn 1. Nathan Hazelwood has spun his car round at the 1st corner. He's attempting to get it turned round in the Pacific Racing, and will rejoin the race, albeit a long way down the order. It's 15th place on the rejoin for him, as Van der Garde is into the box. We've got a replay then of what just happened with Nathan Hazelwood. There he is. Hang on. It's Casey Kirk, Massa, not Charlie Kirk. It's, you know, Casey. you know, the Casey, as Naturai then came out the box, actually rejoined just in front of his teammate, and unfortunately has sent him to the Shadow Realm. Where do you sign up? There'll be a, oh my days, there'll be a Google form that'll go up at the end of the season, which is coming up fairly shortly. So if anyone's interested, be sure to join the Discord. It's in the description of the stream. Hopefully it should work. I don't know. Actually, let me just check. Is it an expired link? No, it's not an expired link. Casey Kirk moving up to third position as Kostov pits. So he's rejoined back in fourth. Kung Fu now takes the lead ahead of Jake Wilson. Charlie Kirk. See, because everyone's just said it's Charlie Kirk, I've now just said it's Charlie Kirk. It's not Charlie Kirk, it's Casey Kirk. It's Casey Kirk, you know, parked on the apex, Casey Kirk. So ahead of Svetoslav Kostov. Lucas Moritz, they're making contact with Guido van der Garde. Van der Garde will come off the better of the two, though, as he moves up into sixth position. God damn it. Gambin there, looking up the inside. I think that's of a lap car, actually. Franz Bernbach, who was on the front row of the grid, has now fallen down to 17th position in this race. How the mighty have fallen in this race. And now he is going to spin round. That's round for Jordi Gambin in the Campos. The Campos is round, and I think he's going to be out this race, looking up the inside of a lap car. And unfortunately for him, he will become the third retirement of this race. Quite a shame for the Spaniard, as hopefully his car gets towed back to the pit lane. That is a cucumber on the roof. It is, yep. These are all custom liveries made by the community in and around James's server, including the 2011 HRT, which we'll call the Campos, which does have a big cucumber on it. Yeah, I think his car's just going to get left there, which is a shame. Peter Elkman now moving ahead of Lucas Moritz. He's only scored a singular point all season. As that's contact! That's contact! It's Van der Garde! Championship leader Van der Garde! He's off in the grass! He looks to be out of this race! Championship implications in the Ligier Championship of round 8 of 10. And Jake Wilson! Wilson's also off! Kostov takes a lead! Wilson looks to be out of this race as well! Unbelievable scenes as the race leader and championship leader are both involved in incidents. Championship implications! Oh, dear me. Let's see what happened then with Jake Wilson in the Branson Virgin Racing car. Oh, there was an incident in front of him with one of the maxi toys and he didn't see it in time. And he goes straight off into the barrier, not into the barriers, into the grass. And that means that Wilson is going to be out of this race. A massive shame for him, as he was looking on course for potentially scoring his first ever Ligier victory. That means Kostov now takes what could be his first race win of the season ahead of Moritz. And Elkman, who's only scored a 12th place as his best result this season, could be on course for his first podium of the season. Casey, I don't know what's happening with the strategies. Like, Franz Bernbach stopped like 4 or 5 times. I don't know why. It normally works. Around this track, though, it seems a bit broken with the strategies, but we do get good battling at least. I imagine there'll be some more pit stops coming for some of the drivers' way, as Elkman is going to make his way into the box, so he potentially could fall out the points with this pit stop. Needs to be a fast one from his Campos crew if he wants any chance of taking his second points finish of the season. It's a good one, as that's Casey Kirk there moving up ahead of Conor Rusikas, the Estonian, moved down to 9th, and Casey Kirk now going to attempt to relieve Daniel Ferguson of 7th place in this race. Does so the MyLink Motorsport car, onto 2 wheels, in fact, the Northern Irish driver, and he will take that 7th place now away from Daniel Ferguson. Oh, and that's Ferguson onto the curb there. 2 wheels. Pacific rear and front wing looks interesting. Oh boy. Can't wait to see it. Kostov still leads though with 9 to go in this race. Moritz is in 2nd position. Banara is in 3rd, followed by Nacharai, DeResta, Saprapto, Casey Kirk, Daniel Ferguson, Connor Rusikas, Chen Kongfu, Peter Elkman and Nathan Hazelwood are completing the points as Carlos Barton is into the box again. As there's an incident there. Connor Rusikas is going slowly. He's going to lose the place to Chen Kongfu. I think there was an incident between the pair of them. The Chinese driver, though, will take that position ahead of Connor Rusikas, most crucially. Up into 9th position, Daniel Ferguson now fighting back with the Mylink of Casey Kirk. These two teams, Mylink Motorsport and Harrison Motorsport, both jostling over what could be the championship by the end of the season, with both their teammates out, Hansen and Van der Garde in the other side of the garage. This could be crucial on who finishes ahead. Right now, though, Harrison Motorsport have a 10-point advantage in the Constructors' Championship ahead of Mylink Motorsport. Kostov not really being reeled in by Moritz because Moritz has got issues from behind. Harry Banara is all over the back of him here for 2nd place in this race, and plenty more drivers are looking to snatch that position. Nacharai, DeResta, Saprapto and Casey Kirk is a couple seconds behind, but this is definitely on for a 5-way battle for 2nd place as the race comes to its conclusion in a couple of laps' time. Daniel Ferguson now back ahead of Casey Kirk as the two go side by side. Casey, though, back ahead as they head onto lap 35 of this race. There's the gap then. You can see the blue car in the background on the right hand side of your picture it was. There is Lucas Moritz. He's got to find 3.5 seconds in this last 5 laps of the race. It's going to be quite difficult from here for him to do anything though about Svetoslav Kostov's pace. Kostov looks more or less on course for his first win, I think, of the season, which would be huge in Flashpoint's season as a whole as well. Of course, 15 points are given to the race leader for the race winner. And of course, with Van der Garde out, I think this would give Svetoslav Kostov the championship lead with just 2 rounds remaining. Casey Kirk, though, in for a late stop. That's going to cost him any chance here of scoring a solid points finish. He's probably going to rejoin towards the fringes of the points. 11th place on the rejoin it is for the Northern Irishman, just ahead of Nathan Hazelwood, which means that he's going to be scoring minimal points in this race for Mylink Motorsport as Banara's centre move up the inside of Lucas Moritz as the two go side by side on lap 37. Just 4 to go, in fact 3.5 to go as they reach turn 3 now. These two drivers still side by side as Peter Elkman makes his way into the box. That promotes Casey Kirk into the top 10 of this race. And Banara now takes the position ahead of Moritz. Took him about a lap to do so, but he will try and just carry that momentum to try and get 2nd place in this race. He's only scored 2 points all season, which is the equivalent of an 11th place finish. And Banara could be on course for his first podium of the season, which would be huge in his championship to get a good result on the board before the season ends, as here is DeResta looking to potentially pounce on getting that final podium place. Nacharai, though, leaving him absolutely no racing room whatsoever as they reach turn 1. Nacharai with the block of the century there as he attempts to hold on to 4th place in this race and potentially go after the Branson Virgin car of Harry Banara for the final podium place. Moritz, Banara are side by side potentially through turns 3 and 4. However, Moritz will have the better momentum out of the corner and keep that position ahead of Harry Banara. But Banara's got a brilliant run out of the last corner and into the first corner. He's going to send it up the inside as Kostov's off the road. Kostov's off the road, has been held up by one of the Mylinks there of Casey Kirk, and that's going to invite Moritz and Banara potentially into the lead fight here. They're still busy battling with each other, but they're only 7/10 off the race lead. Banara up the inside as he goes onto two wheels through the curb, and Moritz is still holding it round the outside. This is great battling between these two, but it's allowing Kostov to get ahead and take the win here at the Oda Speedway. It was on the final lap that he was held up. He makes contact there with, I think that's Nathan Hazelwood, who's finished in 11th position, but it's Kostov who wins for the first time this season ahead of Moritz in second, Harry Banara in third position, followed by Naturai, DeResta, Saprato, Ferguson, Kung Fu, Conor Rusikas, and Casey Kirk will finish in 10th position on the lead lap. Nathan Hazelwood and Franz Birnbach will complete the points. Peter Uckman still with no points from this race. He's only scored 1 point this season, as Carlos Barton and Jago Pesta complete the points. 5 retirements with Jake Wilson, Van der Garde, Jordi Gambin, Gunnar Hansen and Tina Curtis all retiring from the race. Now, what I need to do is I need to pull up the spreadsheet, because this time, granted, I can write the results down. Don't need to write the times down. I can get those. But I need to get the positions at least, and also the yeah. Okie doke. So Svetoslav Kostov wins. Lucas Maurits in second. Harry Bonara, Justus Naturai, Paul de Resta. So I'm going to write the results in, put them into the championship standings, and then we'll go to the next race. It'll take me just a few minutes. Sheng Kong Fu, Yusep, Conor Rusikas. Nathan Hazelwood. Yeah, you didn't even notice DeResta. Yeah, there's quite a few what would eventually become Formula 1 drivers in this. Carlos Barton. And of course, if this becomes such a big thing, I'm potentially looking to make it in a some regional championships with this, like European Ligier. And then like, oh god, voice crack. Asian Ligier, American Ligier, stuff like that. Gunnar Hansen, Tina Curtis. Hello, Martin. Welcome in. Just writing in the results for the first race. We've still got 2 more to go, as I actually need to put it in the championship standings as well. So, yeah, indeed. So DNF for Van der Garde. Who got fastest lap? Let me actually take note of that. Casey Kirk got fastest lap. Okay, I'll write that down as well. Casey Kirk. Svetoslav Kostov was first, so he moves into the lead of the championship. Moritz in second. He's only 4 points behind even, which could be huge for him to stay in the championship fight. Ferguson is 7th. Nathan Hazelwood in 11th. Tina Curtis out. Saprato 6th. Franz Birnbach 12th. Jordi Gambin finished. No, he didn't. Carlos Barton was 14th. Jago Pesta was 15th. Flashpoint of De Resta was 5th. Indeed, most definitely. 10th with the fastest lap. Jake Wilson retired with pole. Chen Kung Fu was 8th. Naturai was 4th. Venara was 3rd. And Elkman was 13th. So, can't really see this all too well, I don't think. You might be able to read it, okay. Can't even. There we go. So sort, custom sorts, descending. It's going to be Svetoslav Kostov with the final 2 rounds, leading by 4 points ahead of Lucas Moritz. Van der Garde from 1st to 3rd, he has now fallen. Let me write the Constructors Championship as well. 1st and 5th. Oh, that's going to fetch them into the championship lead, actually, for Flashpoint. So a two-way fight between Harrison and MyLink becomes a two-way fight, potentially, between Flashpoint and Harrison Motorsport. 12-6. Scuderia Zero got 2nd and 8th. Ninth, DNF. 15th, 14th. Pacific 4th and 11th. Campos is DNF and 13th. And Branson Virgin is DNF with pole and 3rd. So, 92, 79, 95. That needs changing as well. 68, 77, 60, 55, and 62. Okie doke. So, Constructors Championship looks like this. Flashpoint now lead by 3 ahead of Harrison Motorsport, MyLink, Scuderia Zero, Streamline, Pacific, Team MasterCard, and Maxi Toys Racing. So, what I shall now do is I will go onto this camera and I will get the next race. Which is the South African Mini Prix at Zwartkops. There we go. So, 2 rounds to go in the championship then, and we arrive at South Africa for the second to last race of this season. And the first one out on circuit is going to be is it Jago Pesta? No, it's Carlos Barton is going to be the first one out. So, anyone got any predictions then on who you think will win this race, and or what the championship you think is going to be? What is this shirt? This is... I'll show it right now because nothing's happening. This is 2008 to 2009 A1 Team India shirt, where the car was driven by the one and only Narain Karthikeyan. Oh yeah. I probably should have stood up or something like that, but yeah. As we've got battling here between Van der Garde and Barton on their first laps in the session. It is a very niche shirt. I've also got a A1 GP Great Britain coat as well, but I've never worn it because I haven't had a necessity to actually wear it, because it's not been cold enough to wear it. So like it was before, 6 minutes qualifying session around the Zwartkop circuit, and 11 laps will also be contested around this track. So Carlos Barton and Van der Garde then will start their laps side by side. Barton here with the inside line is potentially also going to get held up by one of the... Am I restoring the British Empire A1 GP? Who knows? Who knows? And so Carlos Barton and Van der Garde will both get slipstream off... Who is this? This is Kostov. Championship leader Svetoslav Kostov. So this could be quite interesting to see how Van der Garde will play this one. Of course, now down to 3rd place in the standings with just 2 rounds to go. Barton, though, will be just looking to get a good handful of results to end the season after failing to score points last round. So he actually makes a bit of contact there with Van der Garde. In other news, how has everyone's day been today? Has anyone done anything interesting? I went to... Well, my dad took me to a stonemason's for my birthday present. I'll actually grab it after this qualifying session ends. It's pretty cool. He got me a rock with a carving in it. It's kind of cool. Because my birthday is on Monday. Yeah, that's it. Jordi Gambin has gone to pole position then. 47-1 for the Spaniard. Van der Garde, after making his mistake, he's 8 seconds off the pace right now, so not a good lap time from him. He'll definitely need to improve as Moritz up to 3rd position. You've been outside was good. Dwayne. That is good. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Thank you, Leo. Jake Wilson not setting a good lap. Is anyone setting a particularly fast lap? Esther, no. It seems that everyone can't even get really close to Jordi Gambin's time right now. Whatever Gambin has done, he's managed to beat everyone in the first sector by a second. Harry Bernara as well is 47.8. He's picking up quite a nice slipstream right now from Lucas Moritz, who's in 4th position right now. You got Nando's yesterday. Nice. First time in years. And how was your experience at Nando's? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it expected of how you... Well, was it how you expected it to be? You'll be seeing that lap. Well, Harry Bernara right now, we have been watching his lap. He could potentially take pole position away from Jordi Gambin here. The driver, who had only scored 2 points this season, has really come alive with a podium last time out at the Owner Speedway, and now, at least, as it currently stands, will be on the front row, potentially even pole position if he can get this last corner right. However, Lucas Moritz is holding him up a little bit, and he's actually going into the pit, so that is his lap over and done with them. Qualifying is now over, so those drivers currently on a lap will complete them, and that will define the qualifying order. I don't think that many drivers are actually completing laps. Casey Kirk will be. He'll make his way across the line then. Currently in 10th position in the Mirelink Motorsport car, and he improves ever so slightly, but not enough to get ahead of Nathan Hazelwood for 9th position. the weather at Nando's, as always is the case here, was simply wonderful. Well, I imagine that it wouldn't be raining in the building of Nando's, so that's Franz Bernbach going wide there a little bit. He is improving, although I don't know if he is on a lap or not. He had their new Caesar app and it's good, except for it having a weird, massive amount of red onion. I hate it when places do that. Oh yeah, we've got a salad for you. Here's like the world's like onion supply. 1 shred of cabbage and 1 shred of lettuce. Hope you enjoy. So Franz Bernbach will complete this lap and make his way up towards the line. It'll be a 49.1, which will put him on the 4th row of the grid, ahead of Justus Naturai. My nose is really itchy today. Hay fever's killing me. Is Gambin on lap? He is on a lap. Hansen's also on a lap. But that's it for the qualifying session. Gambin is on pole position for the South African Mini Prix, ahead of Harry Banara on the front row. Paul de Resta is in 3rd place, with the 2 Harrison Motorsport drivers completing the top 5. Where is championship leader Svetislav Kostov? He's in 16th position on the grid. Van der Garde last. And Moritz is up in 6th position, who's now in 2nd position in the championship. So, championship implications, possibly. So I will be right back because I will get this item that I was on about. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in like 20 seconds if that. I think it's very heavy, by the way. It's very heavy. Oh. It's been carved into. It's got the Sheffield Wednesday badge on it. It's kind of cool. I'll fetch it close. There you go. Made out of sandstone. Okie dokie. That was kind of exhausting to do. But let's get this race underway. For the South African Mini Prix, the penultimate round of the Ligier Championship. As the lights come on for all the drivers. The lights are green and there's racing to be seen. I really need a tissue. Where was this place? It's a place near Sheffield. Leo. That he got it from. Harry Banara then will take the lead through the first corner. Hansen also looking to get involved here, but Gambin looking back up the inside of the Briton. However, the Branson Virgin Racing car seems to have the advantage as they head out of turn 2. I definitely need a tissue. I'll be right back. I am back. Please tell me no one's crashed. Van der Harde, from 20th on the grid, is now up to 15th position on the grid as that's Hazelwood off and into the gravel. And he looks potentially like he could retire from this race. However, he does seem like he's able to get the thing moving again. So he'll rejoin in 15th position. Svetoslav Kostov, though, has been shuffled down the order after the first lap. He's down in 18th position, ahead of only Saprapto and Curtis. Front of the field, though, consists of Budara, who leads the race ahead of Ferguson, Gambin, De Resta, Moritz, Bernbach, Barton and Natcherai completing the top 8. Hansen ran wide and lost 5 or 6 places. Okay. Oh, and that's Banara on 2 wheels there. And a brilliant little switchback move there from Daniel Ferguson as he now takes the lead here at the Zwartkops Speedway Raceway. As there you can see he's got his little baguette there in the bottom right, and pulling off to his left there, right on our picture, is Harry Banara as the two go side by side down the back straights here. We've got 2 back straights, in fact, rather than... which is technically just one big back straight with just 2 curves in it. As the two no longer go side by side, as a better run through the corner for Daniel Ferguson means that he's going to hold on to the lead of this race. Franz Bernbach also gaining a place on Gambin, who has fallen down from pole position. De Resta also looking like he's potentially going to take the lead of this race. Up the inside there as he goes onto the curb, pushes Ferguson a little bit wide. The Scotsman, though, will hold it. Looking back up the inside is De Resta. Round the outside, holding it, is Daniel Ferguson. Yeah, it seems that Gambin's not really got the pace right now to be holding it with the leaders. However, Ferguson is not letting Paul De Resta go as the two go side by side in towards the last corner. De Resta picking up a little bit of debris there on the exit of the penultimate corner, and De Resta as such is going to lose that place with less grip through the final corner. He falls down to second as we begin lap 3 of 11. So Ferguson leads, De Resta in second, just around that, as Jago Pesta sets the fastest lap of the race with a 46.8. De Resta now looking round the outside of Daniel Ferguson. The flashpoint driver there getting the switchback done quite nicely. Just how Ferguson got it done on Banara, De Resta has got it done on Ferguson to take the lead here at Zwartkops. Natcherai also moving ahead of the German of Lucas Moritz. Gunnar Hansen there looking to make places up after a poor start to this race. Carlos Barton is the next one on the radar as his teammate Daniel Ferguson will take the lead of this race, but Paul De Resta still fighting back the two side by side, and it's inviting pressure from Jordi Gambin and Harry Banara in the slipstream and into this lead fight. Franz Bernbach could even get involved here as it could quickly become a 5-way fight for the lead of this race. Banara gets past Gambin, Ferguson back past De Resta as they head in towards the next corner. De Resta on the left, Ferguson on the right, and Ferguson will hold on to it, but for how much longer as he's rung wide over the gravel. De Resta's going to look back up the inside again, onto 2 wheels again over the curb. He's going to force the Scotsman wide of Daniel Ferguson, and De Resta will keep the lead. I just realised they're both actually Scottish, aren't they, because De Resta is from Scotland. Welcome into Europros 2, you're joining us at the penultimate race of the Ligier Championship. This is at the bottom of the motorsport ladder in the AI F1 Challenge career mode, where custom drivers can get involved. Sign-ups will actually be going up fairly shortly for that one, as Jago Pesta will be the first one to respond, make his way into the stop for his first and hopefully only pit stop of this race, although I imagine a couple could potentially be doing 2 stops in this one. Tina Curtis will follow him in, who is currently running towards the back of the field. But at the front, Daniel Ferguson leads Paul De Resta by about a second now. Bless me. There is Franz Bernbach getting into the wheel tracks there of Jordi Gambin, trying to keep up with the top 4. Ferguson still battling with Paul di Resta here for the lead of this race. Maybe. Oh, I need another tissue. The hay fever's killing me. I'll be right back again. Sorry for this. Couple of drivers into the stop and rejoining towards the back of the field. Naturai rejoining ahead of Jordi Gambin here. Just about. Jake Wilson also into the stop, as well as Barton and Kung Fu. Elkman will rejoin in last position. Probably not, because I'm not well versed on stuff like that. Europrostu. Daniel Ferguson then holding the lead just about. Harry Benara is now up into the podium places, as once again that's Ferguson going wide, and that's going to allow di Resta back up the inside again. These two have not stopped going side by side basically the whole race. It's brilliant battling between the two Scotsmen, but it's probably going to come to an end through the pit phase, I would imagine, as I think Daniel Ferguson, yes, he's gunning for pit lane here. No, it's alright, Europrostu, it's fine. What's it called? Is it like... I don't know, I don't even know. Is it like Pretty Horse Rally or something like that? Yeah, I'm not a really all too big of a fan of anime and stuff like that, so probably not, no. This Pacific looks like crap. Fantastic. Exactly what I want. Yeah, you qualified on pole as well, Jake. And I think you crashed out from the lead as well, so... Great job. Great job. Welcome in, by the way. As that is Casey Kirk moving ahead of Johan... Is it Johan? I don't even know. Josep. It's Josep Konarusikas, yep. And the two will remain side by side here. See Casey Kirk just pulling ahead of the Team MasterCard. The two Harrison Motorsport cars doing battle here for 7th position in this race. I think the two of them have now pitted in this one, and as such will be going to the end of the race. Speaking of pit stops, Moritz, Bernbach, di Resta all into the stop, as well as Casey Kirk, Conor Rusikas and Svetislav Kostov. So the top 6 all into the box, which means everyone has now served their pit stops by the end of lap 6. We're going on to lap 7 at the end of this one. And who's going to be the first one out of their box? It's not going to be Casey Kirk, it's going to be Lucas Moritz on the pit exit. So he's actually jumped ahead, I think, of Paul di Resta. Franz Bernbach with a fantastic stop there to rejoin in 2nd position. But what about the rest of the group? There they go round the first corner now, and it seems that they've made the overcut work perfectly, as the three who have just pit are now up into the top 3 positions in this race. The rest of though hanging Burnback out to dry a little bit through the second corner, and as such will fall down to 3rd position in this race. We'll get into the slipstream though. The streamline driver, not before Paul di Resta goes for a move for the race lead. Lucas Moritz could be under pressure here of potentially losing the race lead. Of course, Moritz now up to 2nd place in the standings following his podium in the last round, means that he is probably going to be possibly in the lead of the championship as Kostov. Looking here, yeah, Kostov's down in 16th. Van der Garde though is up to 6th position, so Moritz could basically get 1 foot in the door here going into the final round of taking this championship. The MyLeague strategists have not done anything wrong. Everyone's just stopped once. You were in 13th beforehand, as that is a car well out of control. It's Ayusos Naturai, the Ugandan driver there, trying to rejoin back onto the track. He's made contact with a few more drivers as well, as he rejoined in 13th position, and possibly any chance of points leaving the Ugandan's grasp. And as such, he's going to fall under pressure here from championship leader Svetislav Kostov, while his teammate at the front of the field has gone wide through the last corner. Lucas Moritz is going to be able to pull alongside here and potentially get a run in towards the first corner. The German battling with the Scotsman aggressively here as they go across the line to begin lap 8 of 11. So 4 laps to go in the penultimate round of this race, as we've got the 2 stoppers, as I thought they could possibly be, Jakob Ester and Tina Curtis. Oh! And that's di Resta flipping over! And di Resta is possibly out of this race! And Lucas Moritz, the 2 leaders of the race, could be out of this one, and it could have come down. That's the championship, potential championship leader out of this race. If he won this, or potentially even came 2nd, he would have been taking the championship lead. But instead, he's going to walk away from South Africa empty-handed. Championship implications again, if you will. Let's see what happened then. It's di Resta up the inside on the curb, and with Moritz nowhere to go, that means that the 2 of them go out of this race beached in the gravel, and both the Flashpoint and Scuderia Azzurro drivers retire. And that's Barton as well. I think he's also spun off at the same corner. And as such, the 3 of them are going to be out here in South Africa. I don't know what I nearly said, I'll be completely honest with you. That means that Gunnar Hansen now takes the lead. Hello, Pharaoh, by the way. You joined at a perfect time where your driver is now taking the lead of this race, but for how much longer? As here comes Franz Bernbach, looking up the inside in the Streamline engineering car. He's pushed Gunnar Hansen onto the gravel there. And the 2 go side by side for the race lead. Geert van der Garde, as such, will assume 3rd position in this race, potentially 4th, but as such, he could now potentially retake the championship lead, as Kostov is now in 11th position. Minimal points will be scored by him as it currently stands. Hansen, though, wide through the last corner, and that's going to put Bernbach now on the back of the race leader with just 3 laps to go. If I said Southampton, then oh well. I don't know. I don't know. My hay fever is massively flaring up today. As that is Hansen onto 2 wheels, going wide through the second corner, and Bernbach will take the lead again in this race. It's really back and forth between a lot of the drivers here today, as it looks like it's going to be Streamline versus Harrison versus MyLeague versus Harrison for the lead of this race. Bernbach, Hansen, van der Garde and Ferguson all in this battle for the lead. When does Harrisman join the series? I've already added an AI into this series last season, and it was so bad that he just left. So, yeah. Probably not. I might add another one. I don't know. However, Jaden Harrison does already have a role. He's the Harrison Motorsport team owner, and used to be the what's it called? The Honda team principal. Suits his level well. We have driven these cars in like a little online fun league, as that's Ferguson onto 2 wheels, and Van der Garde will take that 3rd place as Conor Rusicus out of sorts. We have done a couple of league seasons in these cars, so I haven't done so for a while because I haven't set up my internet to host these. And I have won both championships, so you know, maybe it is my level after all. Two laps to go then in this race. In this universe, who does Jaden Harrison support? I don't really support anyone. I'm very level-headed. I kind of have to be for the sake of, you know, the series, as that's Hansen wide again through turn 2 again. And as such, Bernbach will retake the lead. You did indeed. It was quite impressive. The two leaders, Hansen and Bernbach, then side by side on the penultimate lap of the penultimate race of this championship. And maybe this could be a lifeline for either one of the Harrison Motorsport drivers to potentially keep their hopes alive in this championship. I'm not exactly sure how many points behind they are, but of course 15 points for a win. And with, if they're within 15 points, then they've most definitely got a chance going into the final race in Knock Hill, as Daniel Ferguson pulls ahead of Guido van der Garde. The Harrison Motorsport crew gain a place, but potentially could lose another one as Bernbach goes up the inside of the Faroan driver. I guess it's Faroan. Someone from the Faroe Islands. Could be. Oh, who does this universe's version of Jaden Harrison support? In terms of a racing team, I guess Harrison Motorsport. Unless you're on about football club, by which point there is literal Sheffield Wednesday logos on the car, which aren't accurate of the time, but we don't talk about that. Faroese, okay. So the Faroese driver then is going to lead us into the last lap of this race. And goes wide off the curb again. Bernbach might not be able to take the lead, actually. Might actually learn from this, as he has lost the lead at the end of every single lap that he has taken the lead out the exit of turn 2. So this could potentially be a different tactic being played here by the German of Franz Bernbach. No, I'm not. I do not support Arsenal in this. That's so dead. Why would I support a team that doesn't lose? That's weird. Ugh. So Bernbach up the inside then through turn 4. But will he be able to hold on to it? Can Hansen take advantage here? Casey Kirk still battling with Nathan Hazelwood further back for 7th. Conor Rusicus could be on course for a top 5 here, as Bernbach looking up the inside of Gunnar Hansen in towards the final sector of this lap. Hansen's going to hold it round the outside though. Bernbach still there to poach up the inside and potentially take the race lead and the race win. A couple of corners to go as the leaders remain side by side. Hansen on your right, Bernbach on your left, as there's still a battle for the final podium place going on. Hansen's going to take the advantage through the final corner. Looking up the inside is Ferguson on Van der Garde, and potentially even Bernbach, as Naturai's gone off, but out the final corner for the final time. It's going to be Gunnar Hansen taking victory here in the penultimate round of the Ligier Championship. Across the line for Bernbach, he'll take 2nd place in this race. Ferguson will make it a Harrison Motorsport double podium. Van der Garde 4th, Conor Rusicus in 5th, Bunara in 6th. Hazelwood, Kirk and Championship leader Kostov will finish in 9th position. So Prapto will complete the top 10, as that's a bad exit there for Esther. He could potentially lose the place to Gambin across the line. Not quite. So it's Esther in 11th, Gambin 12th, Nacharai, Curtis Wilson, Kung Fu, and Elkman in 17th and last position. So that was an exciting race, and we've only got one more race to go. Gunnar Hansen then taking victory. I think that might just about keep him in the championship hunt as well. So let me write that down. Gunnar Hansen. Franz back. Daniel Ferguson. Kiedo van der Harde. Josep Gonarusikas. Harry Bunara. Nathan Hazelwood. Casey Kirk. Svetoslav Kostov, Moreno Soprato. Fastest lap went to someone. Jake Wilson got fastest lap. Damn, bro. Let me just check. By the way, did I just get the? Let me just absolutely make sure that I just got the. Oh, that's qualifying. I did not get the race results. Okay. I'll grab those as well quickly. Okay. Jake's as surprised as I am. Hello, James. Franz Bernbach unfortunately just missed out on taking victory, but did finish in 2nd place. Cheng Kong Fu, Peter Elkman, Paul de Resta, Lucas Mauritz, and Carlos Barton, with Jake Wilson fastest lap. Pull up the championship standings. So it was 9th for Kostov. Who got pole? Was it? Oh yeah, it was Gambin, wasn't it? And he finished in 12th after qualifying on pole. Jake Wilson 15th with the fastest lap. Van der Harde 4th. Daniel Ferguson was 3rd. First for, oh my days, this is going to be so close. There's like 5 drivers still in a chance of winning this championship, and realistic as well. Like realistic championship chance. Hazelwood was 7th and is out. So no championship for Nathan Hazelwood. Unfortunate for him. And I believe everyone else will be the same. Paul de Resta was in... Oh, retired, didn't he? Yep. Franz Bernbach 2nd. Carlos Barton was out. Iago Pesta was 11th. Conor Rusikas 5th. Casey Kirk was 8th. Yusus Nacharai was 13th. Chen Kong Fu was 16th. Harry Bunara was 6th. Peter Elkman was 17th. So, final round of the season, and the championship looks like this. Going into the final race in Scotland, Svetoslav Kostov leads by 3 points ahead of Hiedo van der Harde. further 3 points is Gunnar Hansen. A further 2 is Lucas Moritz, and a further 1 is Daniel Ferguson. The top 5 separated by 9 points with 15 points on offer. I just realised I'm like massively outshot. I'll fetch this over here. Oh yeah, Jake Wilson down to 19th. Let's write down the constructors as well. So 9th, DNF. Oh, huge race as well, actually, for the Constructors' Championship. As Harrison Motorsport are almost certainly on course to win that now. 4th and 8th. Jake Wilson, 19! Wilson, 19! That's, like, as normal as a 10 or 15 joke gets. No way. MasterCard is 5th and 14th. 11th. And DNF. Campos was 12th with pole and 17th. Meanwhile, Branson Virgin Racing was 15th with the fastest lap and 6th, which means going into this final race, it's entirely within Harrison Motorsport's hands to take the Constructors' Championship as they lead Flashpoint by 18 points. Of course, you can get a maximum of 27 as a team per race. 27. That means the top 3 are still within a chance. So Flashpoint and MyLink still can beat Harrison Motorsport. Oh yeah, that one as well. As Branson Virgin Racing get past Campos as well. Congrats, guys. What? No, go away. There we go. So, yeah, Harrison Motorsport lead by 18. And without further ado then, let me go. This is going to be... This is in center now. Why is this in center? What? What? I don't know what happened. I'll sort the comeback after the season ends, because big old online Excel does not have sorting that works the same way as regular Excel does. Bang! Final race of the season then. Here at the Knock Hill Circuit. Daniel Ferguson will be the first one out there on circuit. I'm going to keep the championship standings up actually on my screen. So, going into this round, the top 5 are separated by 9 points. Kostov on 66, Van der Garde 63, Gunnar Hansen 60, Moritz 58, and Ferguson in 5th with 57. Oh, this is one of the best Ligier tracks there is going. Not only for online racing, but also the thing. I also realised, whoop, put that back over there for now. There we go. I need to frame this better, I think, for the what did you miss? You missed Gunnar Hansen win. Ferguson was also in 3rd, as Gambin's already gone off into the gravel. Ferguson will now start his first lap. So we've got 5 drivers in the championship hunt, Jeffrey. Kostov leads with 66, Van der Garde with 63, Gunnar Hansen 60, Lucas Moritz, who retired from the lead with a crash with Paul di Resta, is on 58, and Daniel Ferguson is on 57. The top 5 separated by 9 points, with 15 points on offer. So it's definitely all to play for. Constructors' Championship, Harrison Motorsport lead by 18. Oh, I keep Thank you. Why does that keep... I swear I mute that every single time. It's like, nope. Nope. Damn music. Thank you, Jeffrey. Who's your predictions then? Get your predictions in the chat. Who do you think will win the championship then? Out of Kostov, Van der Garde, Ferguson, Hansen, or Moritz? Who do you think will take the crown? You turned it back on. Thanks, Leo. Appreciate that, mate. Exposing me. Daniel had no head on one of the shots. Oh, I didn't see that. You think Hiedo's going to win? Interesting. Okay, so Ferguson across the line. He sets the benchmark of a 1:31.4. Jake Wilson's actually going faster than the Scotsman, as he's got a little bit of slipstream from the Pacific just in front of Nathan Hazelwood. So this could potentially launch him into potentially getting pole position already, as he sets the lap time of a 1:29.6. Gunnar Hansen has no reply to that time. He goes into second position with a 31, although Casey Kirk to pole position by 0.3 of a second. Championship hopeful Van der Garde goes in between the two Harrison Motorsport cars, as that is Peter Elkman getting a nice slipstream actually from Soprapto further behind, as Naturize in the gravel there. That's probably going to be the end of his championship, or rather qualifying in this race, which is going to be a shame for him considering he's probably going to be starting from last. Kostov only 9th fastest. Moritz also giving di Resta a little bit of slipstream. Moritz though up to 7th position. Casey Kirk going 0.3 faster through the first sector, as well as Carlos Barton up to 4th place in the session. You reckon Casey Kirk will win the race? He is a second down though through the middle sector, so probably not going to be improving on his 29.2, but as it currently stands, he is on pole position with 1 minute remaining on the clock. Jake Wilson on the front row, and the only drivers to get into the sub 1 minute 30s, and they're both in the 1 minute 29s right now, so they are well clear of the rest of the field. As Nathan Hazelwood onto the front 2 rows of the grid. Casey Kirk will make his way across the line. No improvement for him, as Bunara has gone into the gravel. Will actually get out of it though. Yeah, Kirk's not found a time that he needed to improve. As that is another driver off. That's Jago Pesta. Jago Pesta off and also into the gravel. This could be a chaotic race if they're already struggling to keep it on the track in the qualifying session. Of course, pushing to the absolute maximum. But for Daniel Ferguson, he is in 8th place. Make that 9th place as Jordi Gambin goes up into the top 3. He's proving himself to be a strong qualifier. However, not so strong in the races. Ferguson then will get a little bit of slipstream off the Branson Virgin car, who will pit, as will the Harrison Motorsport car. So he is going to be 10th at best, is Daniel Ferguson, as the checkered flag has now fallen. I say that, into the pits, he's just improved up to 4th place somehow, even with the pit limiter. That's absolutely amazing. So Ferguson up to 4th position, which puts him in the front seat of those of the championship contenders on the grid. Paul di Resta 0.6 down through the first sector. So as it currently stands, it's probably going to be Casey Kirk on pole position here today for the final round of the championship. Jordi Gambin is not improving. Paul de Resta not that quick versus Casey Kirk. He's over a second down through the first 2 sectors. And therefore, for the Northern Irishman, he will probably remain on pole, which will be quite impressive for him, considering his poor season. Gambin, though, will make his way across the line. It's only 3rd place for him. De Resta is not going to find an improvement and will start in 13th position. So there you have it then. Casey Kirk on pole position ahead of Jake Wilson and Jordi Gambin. Championship contenders. 5th place man Daniel Ferguson is the leaders of those that are still in mathematical contention. He starts from 4th. 3rd place Gunnar Hansen is in 5th. 2nd place Hiedo van der Harde is in 8th. With Lucas Maurits in 11th, 3 places back. Meanwhile, Svetoslav Kostov has got it all to do again as he starts from the 2nd race in a row from 16th position on the grid. The championship leader here is most definitely got his back up to the wall, and we'll see then if he can make a comeback to win this championship. 9 rounds down and 1 to go as the lights are coming on for the drivers, and they go green, and there's racing to be seen. It's a poor start for Casey Kirk as Jake Wilson has immediately got the jump off the line, and he's going to lead in towards the first corner. So there's been a fantastic start then for the Branson Virgin Racing as he leads us in towards the first corner. 2nd place for Casey Kirk, 3rd place there for Jordi Gambin, but Daniel Ferguson through the switch of turns 1 and 2 down the chicane will take 3rd place in this race, as I think someone has not got starting properly in this race. It seems that all the championship contenders, though, have gotten away pretty safely. I think it's De Resta. Paul De Resta has stalled on the grid, I think, and may already be out of this race. So we're down to 19 as it currently stands, as they all seem to be going well, apart from Harry Bonaro, who's got stuck in the gravel there, and I think he's out of the race already. Down in 19th position, and I think he is going to retire. We'll get a replay of what just happened there as Harry Bonara is out of this race. Massive shame for him, considering he got a podium just 2 races ago. Great camera angles. Yeah, I just got too much of the curb on the inside, and as such went spearing off into the gravel, and I think we'll be out of this race. Massive shame for him then, as Jake Wilson leads ahead of Casey Kirk, but he is reeling him in, the MyLink Motorsport driver, in towards this hairpin. Paul de Resta also confirmed to be out of this race, so we're down to 18 runners as Kirk up the inside there of Jake Wilson as they go through the hairpin. No room given really by Jake Wilson, and as such he's kind of pinched on the inside of the corner, Casey Kirk, but he has got a bit of a run going up towards the start-finish line. So this battle may not just be over yet between Jake Wilson and Casey Kirk as it currently stands. Casey Kirk almost pulling dead side by side with Jake Wilson as they go across the line to begin lap 2. Jake Wilson on the left, Casey Kirk on the right as they head in towards the chicane. Jordi Gambin looking to get involved as well as Casey Kirk 2 wheels over the curb. Jake Wilson's going to get the better run through the chicane as such, and he keeps the lead for now, but Casey Kirk desperately looking back up the inside and towards turn 3 as they go side by side here. Casey Kirk just about pulling ahead for the advantage as they head up towards the chicane. Casey Kirk now pulling fully ahead as he makes his way into the lead of this race. Jake Wilson falls down to 2nd place as a result, as massively over the curbs there, the Maxi Toys racing car of Carlos Barton in 5th position. Lucas Maurits there making up a place on Conor Rusikas, the Team MasterCard driver, now down to 10th place in this race, although he is looking round the outside of the German. Will not be able to make that place up. Crucially though, for Maurits' championship, he has made up that place as Gambin has now gotten past Daniel Ferguson, so he falls out of the podium places. As it currently stands, I'm not entirely sure what this means for the championship, but I think as Who's leading between those two? Hansen. I think, as it currently stands... Oh, there's been an incident further back, I think. I think Sir Prato has spun round. I think has lost a couple of positions as well. I think if Ferguson gets the podium, I think he almost guarantees himself the championship. I'm not entirely sure, though. With Kostov is in 12th place, actually. He's into the points, as there goes Casey Kirk bouncing over the curbs through the first corner. That's a fair point. That you gain a lot of time from going over the curbs, but you've kind of just got to ride them as safely as possible. Burnback, though, is back ahead of Kostov, but as they head up the braking zone in towards turn 3, Kostov's going to retake that position, the Bulgarian back ahead of the German. Casey Kirk then... Oh, he's into the gravel! Kirk's into the gravel! And I think he could potentially be out of this race. He has gotten going again, but Casey Kirk has lost a lot of time, and he's lost valuable positions there in this race. Daniel Ferguson moves up to second and almost certainly will take the lead of the championship, and he also takes the lead of the race as Jake Wilson's forced off into the gravel as well. Absolute chaos here for the leaders as Burnback has found himself stuck in the gravel. We'll get a replay of what just happened there. So going up the chicane, it was Casey Kirk with too much curb. Casey Kirk forcing Jake Wilson off and also possibly blowing any chance of him winning this race as Burnback just went too wide through the corner and got stuck in the gravel and will become the third retirement of this race. I like how Casey's blaming Jake for that, even though it's very much Casey's fault. Anyway, Daniel Ferguson now up the inside of Jake Wilson here. And he'll take the lead of this race. That's crucial for his championship. The man currently third place in the title hunt is now in the lead of this race. Or is he? You don't know, he's fifth place in the championship. So, I think as it currently stands, he would jump absolutely everybody in the standings, but Kostov is still making up places. He's up to 10th place in this race. Maurits, though, crucially into the box only on lap 3. Wilson also into the box, potentially for damage on his car. So that's going to put Hansen up into second position in this race. Remember, he's also a championship contender. Van der Harde is up to 5th. Kostov is up to 8th. I'm not exactly sure how this championship is going to play out. But as it currently stands, I think pretty much everyone's going to be on top of each other in the driver's standings, which is going to be interesting to find out. It could potentially come down to countback in this season, and I think it would be... Let's have a look. On countback, it would go to Van der Harde for getting 2 wins and a second place as his best result. Although, if Kostov wins this race... Well, he doesn't. If he wins this race, he doesn't win it on countback because he's already the championship leader. So the 2 Harrison Motorsport drivers lead this race. Ferguson ahead of Hansen. And I think as it currently stands, Ferguson would win the championship. Do not quote me on that, though, as we'll definitely figure this one out after the race is finished. Because there's too many... There is genuinely too many championship implications to talk about in this race. That's a fantastic camera angle. Oh, it's Van der Harde is going into the pits. Van der Harde in early then on lap 4 of this race. Could that potentially be a 2-stop? Could that potentially spell his doom in this championship hunt as Kostov is now into the top 5? So I think now as it stands, Kostov would take the championship. Maurits now up to 9th place following his stop in this race. Jake Wilson just ahead of him. So Maurits there gets ahead of Jake Wilson. That's crucial for his championship stead, as he'll now try and push on to catch up to Sir Prato, although he's in the slipstream of a useless Naturide just in front as the 2 Harrison Motorsport drivers. Nothing civil about this battle, as Hansen really wants to take the win here to secure any chance or stop any chance out of his control of, or within his control, I should say, of winning this championship. Kostov, though, up in 5th position, could prove too little too late, especially with Ferguson into the box. That's going to put Kostov up into 3rd position as Casey Kirk... Oh, no, sorry, that's Yardi Gambin is going to be into the box. So Kirk's going to be back up to 2nd. Kostov is now into 3rd place in this race. So Ferguson into the box and on the end of lap 5. Could he potentially get overcut here? He's going to rejoin possibly in quite a bit of traffic here. As down the main straight, Van der Harde and Maurits, I think, has lost a... Oh, Maurits is in again. Maurits is in again on lap 6. So there's definitely going to be problems with that Scuderia Azzurro car. And as such, a 2nd stop of this race could potentially falter any chance of Maurits taking the championship. That could be his championship gone now as Kostov now creeps onto the back of Kirk, as that is him going into the gravel and losing crucial time. Maybe the pressure's getting to the Bulgarian as a useless Natcherai could potentially now get into the wheel tracks of him and take the final podium place. Carlos Barton will move up into 8th position at the expense of Jake Wilson. Very nearly said Justin there. Hansen and Kirk into the box. That means that current championship leader Kostov will take the lead of this one. He's going long on this first stint. Remember, he started down in 16th position on the grid. Ferguson through the stops will rejoin in 3rd place behind teammate Hansen. As there goes Van der Harde looking for a move up the inside of Jordi Gambin. We could potentially see 4 championship protagonists in the top 4. As Van der Harde, the Flying Dutchman, up the inside there of Gambin. And he will take the place ahead of the Spaniard as he bounces over the curbs once again. Kostov, though, still needs to pit in this race. Don't forget that. Kostov still needs to pit, but Hansen is ahead of his teammate Ferguson through the pit stops. Van der Harde is also up there as Curtis and Natcherai have just both put each other into the gravel there, and both will be out of this race alongside Duresta, Birnbach and Bunara have all retired from this race previously, so we're going to be down to 15 runners in this one. End of lap 7, though, and surely Kostov's going to be into the box. He is going to be into the box as Ferguson has made the move on his teammate Hansen. Van der Harde making it 3 wide potentially as they go through the hairpin contact between the 2 Harrison Motorsport cars. This is a gift on a silver platter, potentially for Svetoslav Kostov. This needs to be a brilliant stop from the Flashpoint crew if he wants to win this championship. Tina Curtis there and Natcherai both out the race as it's a long stop for Kostov. A long stop for Kostov. He's going to fall far back here, potentially outside the top 5. As here he comes out the pits then. Kirk's going to get through on him, possibly even Carlos Barton as they head into the first bend. And where is he going to rejoin? Barton up his inside. Hansen's going to take the lead, but Kostov's now down to 6th position. He really needs to hold on to this if he wants to take this championship. Ferguson, though, taking the lead back away from his Faroese teammate. So the 2 Harrison Motorsport drivers go side by side up the chicane. We've seen many an incident here already. And that's Ferguson off into the gravel. Deep into the gravel. And the Scotsman is out of the race at their home track, no less. And there's the championship. Sorry, my throat is going, but there's a championship absolutely going up in a massive plume of gravel as that's another car off. It's Hazelwood making contact with him as well, and Ferguson is out of the race and out of the championship. 4 contenders remain. as we've also got 13 drivers left, so potentially everyone who finishes could potentially score points in this race. Van der Garde is up to second as a result. Casey Kirk is up into the podium places, but potentially could be relieved of that by Jordi Gambin as he looks round the outside. The Campos driver might have the better run though as they go across the line. Gunnar Hansen though, with 3 laps to go, will lead here at Knockhill. My throat's really going at this point. But I'll try and soldier on here as Van der Garde looking for a move down the main straight. He knows that the championship is there on a silver platter if Kostov doesn't take it. And he goes up the inside. But Hansen's held it around the outside. Switches to the inside for turn 2. Towards the inside of turn 3 though. Van der Garde's going to brake later than Hansen as they go side by side once again. Just 2.5 laps to go in this one. And Van der Garde all over the curbs. And as they head through the chicane, it's going to be the Dutchman that leads. But for how much longer? He's off into the gravel as well. And that's a major mistake from Van der Garde. And he's also going to be out this race. Unbelievable scenes as Hansen takes the lead ahead of Gambin, Kirk and Kostov. My days, the Miling Motorsport driver, the pressure got to him from the race lead. He's going to be out of this race. Oh my days. So Hansen now leads by 2 seconds ahead of Jordi Gambin. Casey Kirk is in 3rd position but is under massive pressure from current championship leader Svetoslav Kostov. And that retirement from Van der Garde could have potentially gifted Kostov the title, especially since he's going up the inside of Casey Kirk. So Casey Kirk got to relinquish that position in the final podium place. Elkman's also off at that corner, so we're going to be down to 11 cars in this race. 2 laps to go then. Hansen leads Gambin, Kostov, Kirk, Barton, Wilson, Soprapto, Kung Fu, Moritz, Conor Rusikas and Esther. The 11 cars still remaining in this one out of 20. Hansen's doing all that he can do, but it's almost certainly going to be over if Kostov can make his way up into 2nd position in this race. There's just 2 laps left to decide this championship. The EPIC Championship on the line here for potentially 3 drivers, as Moritz still in the race, but is most definitely out of it, as that's Jake Wilson going off. Jake Wilson's going to be out this race, but since he's actually within 90% race distance, he's impressively going to still be finishing in 11th place and getting 2 points. So that's going to be him out of this race. Gunnar Hansen, though, will remain in the lead just ahead of Jordi Gambin and Svetoslav Kostov, who's looking left, who's looking right, he's looking any which way to get up into 2nd position as they head towards the final corner for the penultimate time of this year's series. Looking up the inside is Jordi Gambin, who is instead looking up the inside of Hansen. Gambin leaving Kostov minimal room, but he still find the way up the inside as Kostov, and Kostov now up into 2nd position. The championship is well and truly in his hands. From 16th on the grid, he's now up to 2nd position in this race. Hansen leads Kostov. Hansen's going to need to do something about Kostov here if he wants to take the championship. Going on to the final lap of the race. Kostov, though, looking up the inside of the Faroese driver in towards the 1st corner. Could this potentially be an all-time drive here from Kostov? From 16th on the grid, he could potentially take the race win. He's looking for any way through. He doesn't just want the championship, he wants to win it in style here at Knockhill, and Kostov has taken the lead ahead of Hansen. So the Bulgarian in the flashpoint now takes the lead of this race onto the curb, and he gets through. Hansen, it gets through. As Casey Kirk there making advantage of Jordi Gambin, losing time over the curbs, but Kostov now has over a 2nd lead ahead of Hansen, and now he just has a couple of straights left to claim the EPIC Championship of 2004. This has been absolute cinema. He's gone from 16th on the grid. He's proved the critics wrong. They thought he was most definitely out after that shocking qualifying performance. But Svetoslav Kostov is going to round the final corner for the final time for Flashpoint Grand Prix. Hansen came close, but it's not quite enough to stop the Bulgarian force as he makes his way up the hill, up towards the line. And Svetoslav Kostov is your 2004 Ligier champion with his second win of the season here in Knockhill. Hansen will settle for second. Casey Kirk will finish on the podium just ahead of Jordi Gambin as Chen Kongfu completes the top 5. So Prapto, Barton, Moritz took it to the final race. However, the poor strategy from him has eventually seen him finish down in a lowly 8th position. Connor Rusikas and Jakub Ester will complete the top 10 as Jake Wilson will score 2 points for his 11th place classified finish. Classified non-finish, I should say, as Peter Elkman does not score points as he was 3 laps down. But that has been the Ligier Championship of 2004. That's someone else going off into the gravel. But it is Svetoslav Kostov taking the championship ahead of Gunnar Hansen. Absolute scenes here today at Knockhill. Let me get the fastest lap as well. Also went to Svetoslav Kostov. So let me write these results in and then we'll figure out the points totals of each and all of the drivers for this championship. Okay, so Svetoslav. See, this is why we love Ligier. This is vintage Ligier. Cheng Kong Fu Moreno Soprato Carlos Barton Lucas Maurits Josep Gona Rusikas Jakub Ester, and the bottom 10 are Jake Wilson, Hiedo van der Harder, Peter Elkman, Daniel Ferguson, Nathan Hazelwood, Justus Naturai, Tina Curtis, Franz Birnbach, Paul de Resta, and Harry Bunara with Svetoslav Kostov also taking the fastest lap of this mini pre. There we go. So Kostov with the win and the fastest lap. Van der Harder retired. Gunnar Hansen second. Will finish second place in the championship, but it was not enough to stop the force that was Svetoslav Kostov in this race. Daniel Ferguson was out. Nathan Hazelwood out. Birnbach out. Soprapto 6th. Josip Konorusikas 9th. Tina Curtis in Nowheresville. DeResta out. Casey Kirk finishes in 3rd place with pole position. First podium in the Ligier Championship for him. Jordi Gambin in 4th with Jakub Ester in 10th. I think we had 11 finishes last season as well, which is pretty funny considering the fact. Carlos Barton is 7th. Justus Naturai is I'm blind out. Chen Kong Fu is 5th. Harry Bunara retired. Jake Wilson 11th. Peter Elkman finished. No, he didn't. So I'll sort this out for Countback later on, if it needs sorting. It'll all be put in the Discord, which you can join by clicking the link down in the description. But there is the final driver standings. Svetislav Kostov wins it then by 9 points ahead of Gunnar Hansen. Hiedo van der Garde, who led the championship into the final 3 rounds, kind of faltered with 2 retirements in the final 3 races, just ahead of Lucas Maurits, each on 63 points. Daniel Ferguson retired with the slightest chance of potentially taking the win and the championship, however, retired from the race lead after spinning off into the gravel. Soprapto, surprisingly, up in 6th position, so fair play to the Boots and test and reserve driver, or just test driver, yep, not test and reserve driver. Nathan Hazelwood will finish in 7th ahead of Bernbach, Casey Kirk, and Conor Ruskas in the top 10. Then comes Gambin, Carlos Barton, Tina Curtis will finish behind Paul de Rester on Countback. Then comes Esther, Kung Fu, Naturai, Bunara, Jake Wilson, and Peter Elkman. Now in the constructors, it was DNF second. Flashpoint was first with fastest lap. And DNF. 4th, DNF, and 3rd with pole. So that is Harrison Motorsport with the constructors title as well. 2nd turns to DNF, 6th. 2nd DNF, 8th and 5th. Pacific have 7th, no, 13th, turns into double DNF. Team MasterCard, DNF, 14th and 5th and 9th, so 5th, 9th, DNF. Maxi Toys Racing with 11th, 10th and 7th. Branson Virgin Racing with 11th and DNF. Campos with 4th and DNF. So the only change there is for 6th and 9th. As Branson Virgin Racing, pretty funnily, still finishing last. Scuderia Azzurro will also finish ahead of Streamline as well on Countback of more second places? No, they'll finish behind, yeah, because Countback of more 3rd places, sorry, for Streamline. So they'll finish in 4th, as there is your Constructors' Championship as well. Harrison Motorsport winning by 15 ahead of Flashpoint Grand Prix. MyLink in 3rd, reaching 100 points for the season, followed by Streamline and Azzurro, MasterCard, Pacific, Maxi Toys, Campos, and Branson Virgin Racing. And that has been the end of the 2004 Ligier season. If you did enjoy that, be sure to like the stream, subscribe, and also join the Discord if you are interested in having your driver in this series. There's going to be sign-ups open fairly shortly for that, so be sure to check those out if you're in the Discord and are already interested. Tomorrow's stream will be the AMS1 Co-op Career Mode, the Belgian Grand Prix of 2000, and then on Sunday it will be another season finale with the 2004 Brazilian Grand Prix at Interlagos. However, that is going to wrap up today's stream and the Ligier Championship of 04. Thank you to everyone who has joined us today. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for AMS1. Goodbye.